Yes. I'm also streaming the same on YouTube on my channel, Rise and Speak with Raj. You can find that streaming link that I've posted, YouTube link I've posted in the group. You can click on the group and probably as many as for you possible. Those who, especially all those who are watching on the mobile phones, probably you can easily get to this. Okay, YouTube the channel మీద click చేస్తే మీకు direct గా live లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతారు. YouTube మీద కూడా stream చేస్తాను same classes, and I'm doing all this streaming not only for you, even for final years also, so that the videos will stay permanently in my channel. Whenever you have a doubt, you can always get back and just watch them, and that will help you also to recollect, because the platform that we're using currently might not work for longer, because once it gets once we get unsubscribed, all these videos will be will go with the Great Learning platform. Will not be able to have an access to them and so. So that's the reason I'm streaming it all live on my YouTube. You can always have an access to them, and whenever you have a doubt and so on, you can always get back to that and get in touch with all the doubts clarified, because the concepts are very, very valuable. Okay, so stay on. I'll share with you a small PPT where we're going to talk about how to prepare an impressive resume, and then after that I'll give you some models also based on which we'll be trying to prepare resumes. Okay, yeah, just stay tuned. I'll share the presentation. Yes, I suppose you are able to see my screen right now. Okay, so writing the effective resume. Let me begin with a brief introduction of what actually is called resume. Why do we prepare resumes? Remember, resume preparation is in fact a challenging task, very especially for freshers, those that are graduates who have completed their engineering or probably graduation. They often have the biggest problem. They feel like going for a lot of interviews, but they get rejected. Remember, even before you enter into the interviewer's cabin, it is your resume that goes onto his table. Or rather, a bundle of resumes are already given to the recruiter, and he scrutinizes only those impressive resumes and keeps them aside, and only those shortlisted resumes will be called for the interviews. Usually that is the process, because most recruiters often look for people with an impressive resume. If your resume cannot impress a recruiter, you have lost to create that first best impression on the recruiter. So therefore, writing an effective resume requires a lot of wholehearted effort. It's not simply like I just copy from the download some kind of a what you call a resume models or formats that are available on the online. and then or else probably I'll ask my seniors to forward a resume to me. I'll just restructure it, change the name and give off. People often get into that. Of course, your resume might impress in that way, probably because you have got that from one of the best seniors of yours. You might have restructured it and named put it your name, and you might have gone there. But most of the times, people who restructure the resumes of others or probably remodel, or those that download the formats from internet and so on, they forget to instill the right content into the resume. They just change the names and change the dates sometimes. Okay, I remember one funny incident. In fact, last time during one of these interview sessions itself, one guy came in and his resume looked very similar to the one who had an interview previous, just a minute ago or a couple of minutes ago. Then I looked at it, how come the name has been changed, address has been changed, and that guy forgot to change the name of his father. And it looked like this guy's name is the candidate's name is there, different, but his father's name is similar to the one who has actually previously had the interview. So which means, what's your dad's name? He said something else, Venkateswar Rao. And when we saw it on the resume, the name was different. I said, it's on your resume, your dad's name is different. Then he looked at it, oh, I forgot. I copied everything except that I forgot. I copied the resume of my friend, forgot to change the the father's name and so on. So you get caught by the recruiters and probably you become a fool before them. So make sure whenever you're copying the resumes, so don't even copy, I would say, take them as models for you to understand, yeah, this is the structure, this is it. But don't ever copy the content of the resume. The model, you take it from either from your seniors or one of the most approved or probably looking really good. So decent formats that are available on the internet, absolutely pretty good, no issues at all. But make sure the content should be really original, authentic. That should not that should not be the one of the person who has already done it. Okay, take care of this. Well, now let's take a look how to create an impressive resume. The first step towards landing your next job. How to create this first best impressive resume, very especially for freshers. Remember, freshers resume, because for experienced people, the recruiters might not concentrate too much on the way the resume looks like, because they prefer more like interactive sessions or more of a discussions with the senior people, with the experienced people. But for freshers, they take notice of every word that you mention on your resume, because the questions they would ask you based on your resume. So the words that you mention or the kind of explanation that you give should be matching really. So that is the reason I keep on telling you, must put your heart and soul while preparing your resume. It's not just for the sake of preparing your resume, copy somebody else, change the names and just give it to them and so on. You'll be caught. It's easy to prepare a resume that way, but it is difficult to get through in an interview. So now here, you must prepare a resume that gets you the best of your personality, and that must match the answers that you give during your interview. Only then we say, yeah, this guy is really authentic. Yes, this guy sounds really good. But otherwise, if you go with a kind of false information or inappropriate information, then you'll be caught. And the recruiters, remember, one thing that you need to remember, you can't fool a recruiter, you can't fool an interview, because every year they recruit thousands of freshers like you across the globe, or at least across the globe, at least across India. So they know everything about a fresher. They know everything kind of games that you play as a fresher. So recruiters are very, very intelligent, and they are also very sharp in judging the qualities and the caliber of a fresher. Don't forget that. Okay. So let's now understand how to create a very smart and impressive resume. Okay, writing an effective resume. What information should be in a resume? Characteristics of a successful resume, functional or chronological or scannable resumes. There are varieties of it. I'll talk about it. You don't require all that bullshit that I'm going to teach you. You require only very specific parts which I'm going to teach you, which will be, that's why I've given a lot of stuff in this presentation, but I'm not going to talk all of them, because as freshers you don't require that. Probably for postgraduate students, yes. But for freshers like you, you don't require. So I'm going to concentrate very, very clearly on the first 2 points of the presentation, like what information should be put or incorporated into your resume and the characteristics of successful resumes. Okay. Next one is what information should be in a resume. What are the things that a standard resume should contain? Look here, a standard resume should contain, identify yourself, okay, your name, identity of yourself. Identity means, remember, usually, I'll tell you, once I show you some model resumes, then you'll get an idea about how you should try to identify yourself. Let your name be the title of your resumes. Previously, what happens? People were trying to use the word resume itself as a title of the document. But today, stop it. Okay, the latest formats do not use that. It's a little outdated style of using resume as a heading of your resume, as the heading of your document. No, use your name itself as the heading, as the what you call the title of your resume. See, for example, your name is Akula. Let us say Akula Venkatesh or Akula Narendra, whatever it is. And put it like, Akula Narendra. Let them be in bold letters and let them have a different, font or even font size. Yes, it can be. So identifying yourself means the kind of name. And remember, whenever you're mentioning your name as the title of your resume, make sure you mention your original name as per your 10th class certificate. Don't use your pet names, okay? Bollywood Bobby, Lovely Lavanya, such kind of things, okay? Sweetie Sweta, such kind of words should be done away with. Remember, because a resume is a formal document, a very formal document, which carries, one second please. So identifying yourself means your name should be as per your certificates, and it should be probably, unless it is too very long, like YVVVS Sunil, then you don't go for that. But make sure that the full form of your name will be in that. Don't go for short versions of it. Okay, it's preferable that you use your surname also on the resume. And next one is your educational qualifications. Yes. Begin with the current education qualification, what you're doing, you're studying your engineering, right? So put it as BTech, okay? There are different formats of what you call placing your educational qualifications. Most people would go with what you call statement formations, BTech, with a specialization in computer science computer science from JNTU Anantapur, okay, with 78% bracket till date. First statement, next statement, intermediate from Sri Chaitanya Junior College, okay, Hyderabad, okay, or something like that they put it. So please do avoid that, okay. We would always recommend, when most standard formats are always in table formats, okay. I'll show you, when I show you the model formats, I'll tell you. The table formats will provide more of a clarity about your educational and academic qualifications. So table format, you mention your say for example, the course, okay, university or the institution, and the year of passing, and then percentage. So there are 4 columns in a table format. Then talk about engineering, okay, let's say B or BTech. In bracket you mention your what you call the branch which you are studying, electrical or communication, or let's say computer science, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, whatever it is. So computer science, say for example BTech, in bracket CSE, okay, and then that's a course. Then it comes to what you call the institution or university. Talk about JNTU Anantapur. You can also mention like visual engineering, all this thing, but better you use JNTU Anantapur. Once it doesn't matter which college or which school you studied when it is affiliated to a university. You talk about only the universities like JNTU Anantapur, and talk about which year of passing. Will be passed out by 2022. So 2022, okay. Or otherwise, talk about when you started your BTech, the year of starting, and still put a knife and say pursuing, okay. And the percentage, you talk about 78%, in bracket you put it as still late. Immediately after your higher qualification, current qualifications, then you talk about your intermediate, which we call it as +2, okay. Then talk about board of intermediate, affiliated to board of intermediate when it comes to the column of institute or board. Then after that you talk about the year of passing when you passed your intermediate. Then talk about the percentage, okay. There are 4 columns. You create a box format, and then talk about 10th class, okay. That's it. BTech, if you have an MTech, anything like that, as the higher goes, whatever the higher qualification must be mentioned first, okay. Your highest qualification as of now is engineering, BTech, intermediate, then 10th class. So 3 things need to be formatted, or rather presented in a table format. That's the best way to present your educational qualifications, okay. Then continuing education, whatever education, that itself you don't require this column, right? This particular statement is not required because continuing education. You've already mentioned the same in your I think, am I visible clearly? Just 1 second, I'll check my video clearly. 1 second. I think visibility is much better now, as there's a lot of yes. Yeah, doesn't matter at all, no problem. So education, so that's about continuing education. You don't require work or professional experience. Here you don't have work experience or professional experience, precisely because that is not required, because you're just a fresher. You're being a fresh engineering graduate, you don't require to mention your professional experience. But however, you can mention under that your project work, which is very, very important. You might have done a project work in your 2nd year or 3rd year, or the mini projects or the major projects that you've done. So the project should also be mentioned in a very systematic manner. First, you talk about the title of your project, and then talk about briefly a brief description of the project. If it is a team project, okay, how many people are involved into that? It's a team project involving 5 people. What is your role as a member or as the leader of the team, and so on? You talk about it. And very especially when you're talking about your project, you know, usually what happens, computer science students do it in 3rd year. This year itself, in the last semester, you usually do 1 project, a mini project. Usually, I know over the last few many years, many people are doing that. So you talk about that. So this is what we are talking about. You mention your, what you call your project experiences or project presentations need to be added there very clearly. Talk about the title of the project, description of the project, how many people handled, what is your role. So in that way, systematically present your project details. It could be mini project or a main project. If it is a mini project, I mentioned that the title as the mini project. If it is an academic project, you talk about academic project, which you usually do it in your final years as a part of completing your engineering. In the last year of your last semester of your engineering, you usually present 1 project, which is called the academic project. So you need to mention that. Okay, right now, probably if you are in 3rd year, you need not mention. But once you are into final year, you will have to mention your final year project also. Next, voluntary experiences. Talk about all your other extracurricular activities here. So here it's voluntary experiences means it's not about just doing that. You don't use the word voluntary experience. You talk about extracurricular or co-curricular activities under which, or you can also use another title called achievements. You can happily use another word called achievements. Yes. The achievements column, you can mention all your achievements, like your first begin with your academic achievements, like paper presentations or the kind of medals that you have won in academics, or the kind of certifications, courses that you have done, everything can be mentioned. Then after that academic what you call achievements, then you talk about your co-curricular activities, which we call, or the extracurricular activities, like your sports. Co-curricular activities are more like what you call it. Co-curricular activities and the conferences, paper presentations, project things, or what you call industry visits. They become your co-curricular activities. Whereas extracurricular activities involve more of your sporting skills, cultural skills. Like if you are a singer, or if you are a dancer, if you are a presenter, if you are a speaker, or if you are a sports personality. Talk about it. Represented my college in inter-college football competitions, or inter-college cricket competitions, or I won state or university level prize in Kho-Kho, or in basketball, whatever it is. So such kind of things. Or I won several prizes in elocution competition. Okay, I won a lot of prizes in essay writing competitions, or I won a lot of present or what you call, all those things can be mentioned. Okay, all your co-curricular and extracurricular activities can be mentioned under a called achievements. Use the word called achievements rather than what you call voluntary experience. That is that doesn't sound here for us, which is also part of your activities. Then afterwards you talk about your computer skills, or which are also otherwise called the technical abilities or technical skills, under which you need to begin with the fundamental knowledge on computers, like MS Office. Yes, all of you know that. So how good you are, the internet conference, or if you know about C, Java, Python, SQL, or the latest AWS, whatever the kind of knowledge that you have got, whatever the kind of skills that you have acquired during your 4 years of engineering, you must mention there, because they go a long way in giving a picture to the recruiter how good you are at your technical skills. So make sure that you will try to present them. Next, professional associations. This does not require, but some students also might have this professional association, like being a member of Computer Society of India, like that. Any professional associations, if you have, you can also mention. But usually for most of the engineering graduates, they don't, unless you are from premier institutions. Most students at engineering do not have professional associations. If you do have, please do mention them. Next, remember one more thing. Yeah, optional sections. Actually, though it's been mentioned as optional sections, but freshers, I would say it is mandatory to mention an objective. So begin your resume with an objective actually. Okay, your name. Okay, after the name, or probably on the right side of your resume, on the right to top side of your resume, you mention your roll number. Right side or probably left side, because right side can be exclusively meant for your photograph. Left side, just below your name. Just below that on the left side of your resume, you mention your what you call your email ID and mobile number, and they are the primary details that are required by every recruiter. So that's an email ID, and email IDs must sound and must look very professional. Don't give a very what you call fancy email IDs like lovelylavanya@gmail.com, okay, or Hottie Venkatesh at hotmail.com. So avoid such kind of fancy mails. Okay, you give professional mails. Let your email be created with some part of your name and some part of your roll number, or maybe your date of birth, such kind of things. But don't ever create fancy names which are not to be used on your resumes. Am I clear? So make sure you create such professional emails, and the best platform to create an email is Gmail, because Gmail always has the best and of course also the fastest in terms of mail providers. Okay, so go for Gmail. And apart from that, your mobile number. Yes, mobile number. You must give a mobile number which has a smartphone, which must be a smartphone, and which must have other connectivity also, like they might send you some links on WhatsApp. Okay, so and make sure that number should not be changed frequently. Am I clear? That needs to be maintained, because once you mention your mobile number on your resume, it will be taken noticed. I mean, it will be taken note of by the recruiter. Sometimes they even save this number. Okay, you must save this number. I mean, this data, your number will be always with them and so on. Therefore, you must make sure that you will have a standard mobile number, okay, provided. Then after, just below that mail ID and mobile number, you mention your career objective. Career objective is a short two-liner, single line, or maybe the max two-liner statement, which talks about what kind of a job you're looking for, what you can offer. Say, for example, if it's an objective anko, you can say, I'm looking for an opportunity, I'm looking for a position where I can learn and grow while contributing my skills to the company's growth. Let us say, if this is the statement, say, I'm looking for an opportunity where I can learn and grow while contributing my skills to the growth of the organization. See how beautiful this statement is? Simple and easy, which contains like, yes, I want to learn and grow, because you're a fresher. You can't say, I will be an expert now. Being a fresher, you can say, I want to learn, looking for an opportunity. Objective is nothing but what are you expecting from this resume? I am looking for an opportunity. I am an Padamasala. You can straight away say, looking for an opportunity. Okay. As a software engineer, you can also put the title if required. Otherwise, simply looking for an opportunity where I can learn and grow as a professional. Okay, you can use those kind of titles. And while contributing my skills to the growth of the organization, which means you're also stating in that particular statement, you're also mentioning what are you looking for? You're looking for a standard job where you can learn and grow. At the same time, you're also telling the recruiter what you can offer to the company while contributing my skills for the growth of the organization. Am I right or not? So in that way, you're balancing your objective. Your objective is a clear one or a two-liner statement which talks about what you're looking for and what you can offer for the growth of the organization. Okay. And after that, immediately you talk about educational qualifications. I'll show you the model format slowly. I mean, at the end of it, you'll have some clarity about it. So special skills and abilities, if you have anything like, okay, so topmost skills, if you have anything like, you can mention, but otherwise, usually most of the times, this particular thing is not required. Reference statements. So these are the things that need to be mentioned. Okay, remember your name, education, your name, immediately after your name, your what you call your email ID, your standard mobile number, your objective, career objective, we can call it, and then academic details, education qualifications. Then talk about your technical skills, which are called the computer skills. Then talk about your achievements that you're talking about, all your academic achievements as well as curricular, co-curricular, all kind of achievements. Then talk about, then after this thing, you talk about your what we call, we use a word called, especially I often train my students, this word is not regularly used by the rest of the people across, the rest of the students in other engineering colleges, I can say, at least for sure, in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so no trainer teaches them to use this one, but I would strongly recommend that you use this particular short title called personality characteristics or personality traits. Use a word, this short title should be used, subtitle in a resume. What is it? Subtitle, personality traits. Underline that subtitle, and below that list out at least some 5 to 10 topmost positive characteristics of your personality. Am I clear? You understand? The title, the subtitle is what we call personality traits, and under that you mention, list out all your positive qualities, list out at least a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 10 top qualities that your character, that your personality can contain. Okay, say for example, excellent communicator with an ability to make effective presentations, one quality. Next, very friendly in nature, always ready to help others. Next, always punctual and volunteering to help. Okay, next, looking for challenges to try to find out solutions for it. Like that, you try to create some statements. Don't worry, probably after this class is over, I'll also share with you some of the most commonly used characteristics, or what we call the personality traits, out of which you can pick a few of them which you think really fit into your personality and character. You can mention them on your resume, no issues at all. Okay. And once that is over, you talk about your personal details. Personal details now. I mean, after that title is over, after the personal personality traits details are over. Then talk about personal details, where you try to give what you call the name of your father. Okay, language is known. Okay, language is known. Okay, what are the languages known? Let me see if I've given anything different from that. Yes, so talk about your languages known. Like begin with your mother tongue, if it is Telugu or Tamil or Kannada, whatever the kind of language that you have. Then usually begin with English. That's better because that's what you are trying to impress on the recruiter. Begin with what you call English language. After that, you talk about your mother tongue, and then after that, you talk about national language, Hindi. Say, for example, if you're a person from the state of Andhra Pradesh or from the state of Telugu states, you can mention it like, English, then Telugu, and then Hindi. Or if you are someone with even Urdu language or someone from Tamil Nadu, you can mention like Tamil also. Or someone has the knowledge of Malayalam or Kannada, you can also mention such kind of things. That will be really excellent. Once again, please stay online. Yes, so that is what we talked about, and the language is known. After that language is known, you talk about your address, your permanent address. Usually, you can mention there. And if you have two addresses, like the temporary address and the permanent address, you can also mention there. But usually, you don't require two addresses because these days most of the communication happens only through mails. It doesn't happen through snail mails. It happens only through emails. Therefore, your email IDs should be perfect. If there is even a bit of, even if one letter or one word or one spacing is different in your email ID, the rest of the communication from the company will be wrongly delivered and you'll have a lot of troubles. I've seen such cases most of the times. Make sure, that's the reason I would always recommend that to check to see that your mobile number is accurate and your email ID is perfectly written on your resume. Because if most of the times people say, I've submitted my resume, I haven't got any reply, and the company keeps sending a lot of replies, a lot of mails, and you don't receive them precisely because there is some kind of a spacing in your mail ID, or rather they don't get delivered into your inbox. So make sure that your email ID is perfectly written on your resume so that no communication you will miss from any of the companies. And physical address, permanent address can be mentioned. You don't require any other thing. Okay. And then after that, you can also talk about your interests, the hobbies. Don't use the word called hobbies. It's always highly recommended that you use a word called interests. Then after that, you talk about what you call the declaration, another subheading with the declaration where you would like to say, yes, I would like to declare that the information provided in this document is perfectly all right and true to the best of my knowledge. In that way, you can draft your email ID. Okay, at the bottom of your resume, on the left side, you mention your place and date, where you mention the date of your interview on which you are attending the interview. At the place, you can write the place at which you are attending the interview. You can just put the word date and place and leave the space. Once you take the printout, on the day of going for the interview, you can write the date with pen. Okay, with pen. And left side, it is date and place. On the right side, mention your name in bold letters. Okay, say for example, Resmika Madana. So put your full name there, so that once you take the printout, then you can put your signature on at the bottom of your resume. So that's going to be the final format of your resume. I'll show you a few models of how to draft an effective resume, especially for freshers later. So moving on to the next slide. So this slide talks about what are the characteristics of a successful resume. How should a successful resume be prepared? Because we keep preparing a lot of resumes, but we're not pretty sure as to how it should look like. How it should look like, because you often get confused. Does it really look good? Does it really give me the best advantage? Okay, what are the best characteristics of a successful resume? Focus on skills. Use action words to define the responsibility of your job-related experience. If you are a fresher, if you are an experienced guy, yes, you can mention a lot about the words that describe the kind of responsibilities that you handled at your job. But if you're a fresher, use words that talk about what you can contribute for the company's growth. Okay, what are your action words? Say, for example, executed a program or organized events, organized a student fest or event. Okay, played a vital role in this youth fest, or played a vital role in the the organizing of a seminar, 3-day seminar here. Presented a paper on let us say artificial intelligence at KL University or at SRM University or at Christ University, whatever it is. Okay, presented a paper, presented, okay, accentuated or organized. These words are called action words. Use such words to convey to the recruiter you are an active guy, you are an active girl, you are an active student. Okay, an active learner who is not just simply limited only to classroom learning, but the application of it, like attending seminars, presenting papers, or writing articles, or participating in education competitions, or organizing events in your college. So in these words, organized, presented, attended, okay, these kind of words are action words. When you use such words, the recruiters get attracted to that. That is where they see, yeah, these are the keywords. Yes, this guy or this girl is not limited only to the dumb learning of the classroom. She or he has learned to apply his knowledge through programs like paper presentations, student events, or writing articles, so many things. So that's the reason I always recommend to the students, don't be a boring candidate at college, boss. Just listening to the dumb lessons all the time in classrooms, or simply completing your assignments and submitting, preparing for your mid-exams or sem exams. Come on, they're all required, but that's not a student life what you are called for. Student life is much more than that. 4 hard years of your most precious years of your life you're spending on the campus. You must add life to your campus life. Seriously speaking, don't make it a boring affair at college, because once you leave your college, you must have a lot of memories that keep on floating like a filmy reel before your mind. It's not about you need to. Hey guys, I'm just asking one thing. Are you able to follow whatever I'm talking to you right now? Can you clearly understand what I'm talking? Okay, you can just say hi on your chat boxes, because I find there is no response or reply from your side. I was just wondering if you guys are sitting very silent, throwing your devices on the side. Okay, are you able to follow my class clearly, all my words, or should I Should I reduce the speed? Are you on track with me? Can I continue with the same speed? But I'm trying to be as clear, as simple as possible. But if you do not understand, stop me at any place. Don't simply continue. Like, as I said again, I hate dumb listeners. I love to see people who actively participate in classrooms. Okay, so that's the reason I keep on telling you, because even recruiters would love to recruit a guy who is dynamic, who is energetic, who is active, who is all the time, like a person who can set goals, who can take up challenges, not a person who simply listens there like a Swamiji or like what you call like a Guruji. No, you must unleash your talents, because you are at the prime of your youth. Most of you are in 19 or 25. That's the age that you are between 19 to 25. So that is the most achieving age. And during that age, if you guys sit so silent without them, that's the reason. Even in class, don't sit silent, my dear friends. I want to give you one very beautiful advice. Don't sit silent in your classrooms. Make as much noise as possible. Noise, I mean positive noise. And noise, by positive noise, I mean that an interaction with your teachers. Develop interaction with your teachers. Ask plenty of questions. Get clarified. Share your knowledge and views and opinions on the concept with your teacher, with the friends in the classroom. Then you become an active student, active learner. If you simply listen to the lecture delivered by someone else, and then at the end of the week you submit one assignment to your teacher and say, yeah, I'm getting good marks, or probably once in a couple of months you write your mid-examinations. That's not what you are talked about. Student life is more fun, more activism, more dynamism. Add to that, and all those things can be added on your resume. Don't be a silent sitter. Recruiters, seriously speaking, the world does not belong to the people who sit silently. The world belongs to the people who make noise. Noise positively, not a negative noise that's causing disturbance and what call problems to others. Noise, I mean to say positive noise. Positive noise, I mean to say a positive way of approach, positive way of actively participating in whatever we do with mind and heart. Am I clear? So one thing I'll not tell, during college times, though, especially the first 2 years of my degree, I was a dull student. Dull, I mean to say, it's not about intellectual, I'm talking about physically also. So boring your life. I really want to now, when I look back and say, oh, how stupidly I wasted 2 years of my degree. Only in third year, I realized, no, I need to be, more active. Third year, I became really active. But first 2 years, I felt I was very, very negative, very boring a guy and so on. So that's what I'm saying. Don't be bored up. Be a guy or a girl with a lot of active, both physical and psychological and academic. And those things, your activities, both physical, psychological, active, academic activities, where you projected the best of your dynamism, can be mentioned on your resume. They are called action words. Use such action words to project your personality. Okay, and then easy to read and understand. Use simple and structured words on your resume format. Don't confuse the format so that everyone who reads your resume does not understand what you're looking for. Make sure your resume should be readable. Readable, I mean to say, standard words should be there. You should not have any grammatical errors. Try not to, that's the reason I'm telling you, once you prepare a resume, make sure you check it twice before you submit your teacher, and let your teacher also correct it properly. And without any grammatical errors, you should go to the interview. Only then, because if there are a lot of grammatical errors on your resume, what will be the impression that a recruiter would receive about you? He would think this guy or a girl did not concentrate in preparing your resume. When you are not able to concentrate on the preparation of your resume, which is going to give you a career in life, how are you going to concentrate on the job that we are going to entrust with you? Absolutely not. So that itself provides a negative impression to the recruiters. Best way to create an impressive resume to recruiters is to make sure that there is absolutely no grammatical errors on your resume. To clearly check it thoroughly, at least 2-3 times before you submit it to an expert, to your teacher, to your trainer. Get it corrected once. Okay, show your resume to 2-3 teachers, 2-3 trainers. Get it corrected. If possible, take the help of your seniors. Get it corrected. Because if you find there are any, because I often find my students, I see a lot of students coming to me to correct their resume, but I find a lot of grammatical errors. and they call themselves, we are engineers. And being an engineer, you don't know how to even write a small spelling dynamism or presented paper presentation. They don't even know to write artificial intelligence. Sometimes most of the people write a lot of spelling errors. They don't even give grammatical errors like the punctuations. Like spacing will not be there. A lot of what we call the capital letters that are being used. There is no comma. There is no full stop. There is no hyphen. So stupidly they draft it. If they go with the same kind of crap to the interview and the recruiter takes a look at this, how stupid this guy, he doesn't even show interest in preparing his resume neatly without any grammatical errors. How can I recruit him? You'll get the negative impression, okay? So make sure your resume is readable and you can easily, the person who reads it can understand it clearly what you really are looking for. Next one, visually powerful and free of gimmicks. Gimmicks nothing but grammatical errors, okay? Most of the times people use some gimmick words, like they say words like what they call, there are fancy words. I'll tell you a list of them actually. I have come across some of the fancy words. I'm talking about out of my own experience of observing the resumes of your seniors over the last few years. I often get struck about how many of these people, how stupid they are, how careless they are in preparing their resume. That puts them. Don't they have so much of time to prepare a standard resume which is going to decide their career? Seriously, make sure that needs to be done, okay? 1 page or at most 2 pages long. And remember, your resume should never be more than 2 pages. 1 page, yes, they would love it. 2 pages, yes, sometimes yes, but never beyond 2 pages, remember, never beyond 2 pages. Are we clear? So be clear about that, and so, okay? For freshers, usually 2 pages, yes, you can go for up to 2 pages because you're mentioning your projects, your technical skills and all you're trying to highlight before. You can go for 2 pages resume, that's no problem, okay? Next one is, yes, make sure your language is grammatically correct without any grammatical errors. I have already explained that. Spelling has been checked, and formal style, okay? Spelling should be checked, and the style and design, you know, first impression they say is the best impression. You're creating the first impression of the recruiter by the way that you prepare your resume. They look at it and see, yeah, it's visually pleasing, it's visually really attractive. Let me get attracted to that. Okay, whether you like it or not, the world today, most of the world, almost 90% of the people in the world get attracted to you by your looks first. Even now, I'm delivering this session, and there are many people who are watching me live on YouTube, or people who are attending this session. They feel, what is this guy? This guy is training people in the soft skills on resume preparation, going live on YouTube. He doesn't even wear a blazer. He doesn't even wear a kind of thing. Yes, they wear, yeah, they get, yes, this guy is wearing a blazer. Of course, it's good to go for that because the world is looking for this. But even if I don't have a blazer, even if I don't have a tie, I'm not going to stop my quality, nor am I going to lower my quality. That's the first thing. So make sure the formal style should be maintained on your resume, because style I mean to say a formal style is always necessary to project the best of your resume. Most of the times, resume foxpacks means some of the errors that we commit while preparing the resume. Okay, typos and grammar slips. Typos and the kind of typing errors that often come into resume. So make sure, and some of the things that we might. Great attention to detail. Most of the times we miss to give details precisely because we somehow, yeah, this is enough kind of thing. And some, okay, prove an ability to track down and correct errors. Okay, I am a perfectionist and rarely, if ever, forget details. So you often feel that I'm a perfectionist and I have not forgotten anything. So you don't even show to an expert to get your resume corrected. It's always best that you prepare your resume, get them corrected, show your resume to at least a half dozen people, share it with some standard people who are better than you, so that ask them to read it and ask them to make point out the errors that they find, or ask them to give you suggestions so that you can try to enhance the quality of your resume. Accomplishments: completed 11 years of high school. Yes. Okay, don't use I or me. Resume manaki I or me and a prepositions. You're not supposed to use prepositions like I and me. Okay, they are not required to be used in your resumes. That's not the straight thing. Okay, must always be 100% truthful. Mention only truthful statements on your resume. Don't give any false information. That's the reason I told you at the beginning of the session. Be genuine. Provide only genuine details on your resume. Don't give any negative details. Contains no inappropriate personal information. Make sure that you give appropriate details of your personal information, like your gender, your date of birth. Okay, gender, of course, your name is in India. You don't require to mention your gender because your gender is very clear, because your name itself suggests what kind of gender you are, from like a male or female. But the latest names are trending. In fact, some names sound very female, which are named for males. Okay, and some names sound very male or masculine, but are also used to name females and so on. We do find that. So you can have, there's nothing wrong in today's world to mention your gender also on your resume. Okay, and date of birth. Okay, and even work experience, or even your project details, or the technical skills that you mentioned. Make sure that you mention 100% truthful information. Don't you have no idea about Python, but you mentioned their Python. You have no idea about SQL. You mentioned their SQL. Then you'll be caught, precisely because you'll be asked a lot of questions based on every word of your resume. Make sure resume lo unde prati padaniki nee daggara excellent explanation undali. Okay, because the recruiters will be asking you a lot of information about every word you mention there. An elaborate explanation you must have, including the name you have. They might ask you, tell me the meaning of your name. See, my name is Rajkumar. They might ask me, yes, what is the meaning of the word Rajkumar? I should be able to confidently express Rajkumar refers to the word in English, prince. So prince is what I am in terms of my attitude. It's not just because I was born a prince in a kingly family, in a royal family, not of that, but my thinking, my style, my behavior, my approach is more like a prince. And that's what I would redefine myself. Give that kind of a confident explanation to the recruiter. Okay, contains so don't give any inappropriate and personal information produced in a computer or data presented in a chronological order. So make sure that your information is chronologically presented. Chronologically means systematically presented. Okay, as in the order of their appearance, in the order of their occurrence. In fact, but జరిగినట్టుగా systematic time dependent. Don't worry about this functional resume or chronological resume, which is not for freshers like you. Make sure in your resume use what you call bullet points. Okay, watch bullet points. Don't always scan. Okay, how can I dash? Use labels or keywords. Less is more. Keep the design simple. Minimize use of abbreviations. Make sure don't use too much of abbreviations. Don't use fancy fonts. Maximum, I could say, you can use a font called Calibri Body or Arial or Times New Roman. Previously, they used to use a lot of Times New Roman and Calibri. Arial. But today, most common default font is Calibri Body. You can go for Calibri Body. Calibri Body really good is good. The font is Calibri Body, and the font size could be 11 to 12. Never beyond that. Okay, so make sure that. Okay, I would highly recommend that your resume is boxed all sides, in the sense bordered on all four sides of your paper on your resume. Let it be bordered, because if there are beautiful borders on your resume, they look really good, and they get give an impression to the recruiter that you have designed it neatly, readable, attractable, viewable, very pleasing to the eyes. That's the kind of things that you need to prepare. Bullet points, especially when you're talking about your what you call your achievements, your personal characteristics, personal traits. Make sure that you write bullet points. Bullet points, we see, look at this, on this resume, on this PPT, I have used bullets, like one bullet, second bullet, third bullet, fourth bullet, fifth bullet, sixth bullet. They're called bullet points. So use bullet points like this, bullets like this, okay, to make sure that you present more of clarity on your resume. Let me see if anything more is there. Check basic list, no spelling, no grammar errors, okay, and neat, clean, and professional looking. Length should be 1 to 2 pages, not more than that. Margins at sides and bottom, yes, make sure margins, as I said, let it be more in a boxed structure. Layout makes reading easy. Use of white space is effective. Important titles should be emphasized. Experiment with fonts and styles. Do not bold, italic, and underlines. No more than 2 to 3 different sizes. Sizes, yes, 2 to 3 sizes in the sense, but don't use too many what you call fancy fonts. I would say italics will, what you call yes, Calibri body alone will do, but except for the main title of your resume. The main title of your resume will be bold, and the font size can also be in a different font or in a different size actually. Okay. Information is logically recorded, and use action verbs for accomplishments and results. So make sure that you use logical words, logical structure to talk about. Okay. Bullet points when possible for accomplishments. Quantify your results whenever you can. Format chronological. Writing an effective cover letter. Anyway, cover letter is not required for freshers as of now. You don't require. But when I talk about and elaborate probably in the days to come, I'll tell you also how to draft an effective cover letter. For this, we require only I'm talking about exclusively how to prepare a fresher's resume more effectively. We'll talk about cover letter a little later. So we're going to end up this session right now. When I meet in the next class, I'll talk to you about different models of resume. I will very especially talk about one model which is most formally accepted in our college or in for different students. Okay, I'll talk to you about that. I'll give you also some models, and after giving you the models, I will also give you some time to prepare your own resumes and submit them to me probably in a matter of 10 days. Once you submit your resumes to me virtually, I would say online, probably through WhatsApp, I'll be able to correct them and get back to you, so that in that way I'll be able to help you check your resumes even before I send you for the corporate interviews. Are we clear? Yes. Shall we wind up to the session today? Any more questions? Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you may ask me, or else we'll sign up for the day. I'll see you with more energy in the next class. All right? Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Have a great day.